Hey guys, Susan Soares. This week's topic is motivation. How many of us have a really difficult time getting ourselves motivated to get up and do what we need to do? Whether it's at home or work or a project that we have, or even sometimes getting motivated to go out and be social with our friends. I'm going to blow your mind a little bit tonight because how many of us have said all of our lives, I don't feel motivated to do X, Y, or Z, clean the house, do my work, whatever it is. Guess what? Motivation isn't really a feeling. It's just a phrase that we say. But guess what that has done to our brain? It has almost like trapped us because if we feel motivated, then we get up and do something. But if not, what are we motivated to do? Binge Yellowstone on Netflix? I don't know. So the hard part about it is retraining your brain to realize that motivation just kind of comes and goes. If it actually were a feeling, feelings are just like waves and they come and they go, and you can't rely on them to get you to the point where you want to do something. So we have to change our mindset. There's that mindset word again, because motivation is not a feeling, it's a mindset, plain and simple. Just like everything else in our life really is a mindset. So how do we change our mindset to be more productive, to be more proactive in getting things done, and not just let our brain talk us out of it because we don't feel motivated? That's a good question. I would agree. So my easiest way is just developing good work habits all along. One of the things that used to drive me crazy was I would look around the house, see everything that needed to be done, and it was too much and I would just shut down. So I am going to teach you one of my favorite tricks. Post-it notes. Grab you a bunch of these. So what I like to do is I like to put 3 things on a Post-it note. It doesn't feel overwhelming to the brain. And instead of looking at 25 things that need to be done in the house, your brain's focused on just getting the 3 of those done, which is great. So then when you're done with them, cross them off. I like to tear up my Post-it note and throw it away because it signals to my brain I'm done with it. The more you develop habits like this, like good work habits, the more your brain just easily slides into those. Is it ever going to be fun to clean the house? Probably not. I do know some people who enjoy it, but I am not one of those people. Like, it's just something that has to be done. But then too, when it comes to like employment, work habits, you can still do the same thing and it keeps you on track. You don't have to feel motivated to dig into that pile. You start tricking your brain into thinking, oh, I only have 3 things to do. Then when you get done with that, you're like, okay, I'm done. Now I only have 3 things to do. And you just repeat that process over and over. Other ideas that you can do to get your brain into a good work routine that way is to really work on like setting aside time for things at home. So what I like to do, I obviously have my at work hours. When I come home, I like to give like an hour to other things that I'm working on. So one night it might be an hour to working on the house. One night it might be an hour to working on school. I don't know. It just kind of depends on what's going on that way. But the more you set your brain up to do that, the more it's what it expects. Our brain loves routine, loves it, loves it, loves it. So the more you can give it a routine, the more it knows what's coming. Like our brain is just like us most of the time. It just wants to know what's next. So the more we feed it that, the more smoothly that process goes. The other thing that I worry about a lot with motivation is, and maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe it's other people too, but I feel like if we rely on that feeling of motivation and then we don't get something done because we don't feel motivated to do it, what about that negative self-talk that goes on in your head? For me, it's I'm lazy, I'm useless around the house, I wasted time. Does anyone else have that go on in their heads after that? So if we're not focused on the need to feel motivated and we're focused on just accomplishing things, that changes our mindset about how we're looking at it. So just some thoughts I had on motivation. What thoughts do you guys have about motivation? What helps you get into good work habits that way, good routines? Let me know down below. I'll also link my blog on motivation, and make sure you hit subscribe and the little notification bell so you know when my newest videos come out. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.